Psychological Types, or The Psychology of Individuation, by Gustav Jung. Translated by H. Godwin Baines. Read by Martyn Swain for Ukemi Audiobooks. Translator's Preface. In presenting this, Jung's crowning work, to the English-speaking world, I would like to make a brief sketch of the curve of the author's thought. For, like everything that is rooted in reality, Jung's standpoint shows a definite line of development, and the following of this progression may add a historical sidelight to the understanding of the present work. I would have preferred to avoid the troubled waters of controversy, but it does not seem possible to relate the history of Jung's standpoint without at the same time contrasting it with that of Freud. That this somewhat thankless task was necessary is proved by the still frequent coupling of the two schools of thought under a common denomination, suggesting that the general mind has, as yet, failed to make a clear distinction between the contrasting standpoints. Freud undoubtedly is an analytical genius. One has only to read his early studies upon the etiology of hysteria to be struck by the virtuosity of his subtle reasoning. It was an intuitive capacity of no ordinary shrewdness that revealed the hidden significance of the hysterical syndrome, for it opened the way to an entirely new conception of the unconscious, and led to a rediscovery of the dream as a significant and purposeful product of that same unconscious activity of which the hysterical manifestations were a somatic expression. Freud was like a master detective, tracking down the incriminating complex in the unconscious, while Breuer, his colleague, contented himself with exercising the repressed elements from above by abreaction under hypnosis. In medical science we can discern two main human types, or attitudes, whose behavior towards the therapeutic problem presents a characteristic contrast. The chief interest of the one lies in the welfare of mankind and the healing of his patient. The other's interest is monopolized by the etiological problem presented by the patient's condition, and is concerned in a less degree with its remedy. The one attempts to discover a remedy before understanding the problem. The other tends to become so completely immersed in the problem that the original objective, for example the healing of mankind, is often lost to view.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?